We are streaming live. Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, so we are running for the next couple weeks. We're running for the next couple weeks where we're showing people how to rise up above the challenges that we face. So I want you to just think for a second. Just think for a second. What is the thing that gets in between you and creating the freedom that you want? What is it? Go in the comment section. Let's go. Hi, Letitia, Bill. So good to see you guys. What's the thing? Okay, so my head, Debbie's like my head gets in the way. What else, you guys? Lack of money. Oh, I'm going to prove to you lack of money is actually not the problem. It is not. Lack of money is 100% not the problem. So, but you might think it is, but we're going to handle that. Okay. Organization, marketing and sales. Connect. How many of you guys are entrepreneurs? I'm just Put an E in the comment section if you are an entrepreneur. Either you're starting a business or you've been in business for a while. How long have you been in business? Are you just starting or have you been in business for a long time? Put the number of years that you've been in business. 3 years, 17 years. Wow. 10 years, 5 years, 10 months. Congratulations. Just starting. Aw, good job. That's so good. 0 years, Don says. Starting over. Yes. How many people are starting over right now? Put I am. How many guys are starting over right now? Put I am. Super powerful, right? So when you guys see some of these trigger words that I talk about, and I'm going to talk to you really about what do I do behind closed doors to one, identify who my customers or clients are. How many of you guys would want to work with more qualified people? More qualified people, put yes in the comment section, right? If you're ready for more qualified people, 100%. So if you're new to me, if you've never ever seen either a Shanda on demand, or maybe you've only seen a couple of them, but if you are new to me in the last, let's say 2 weeks, put a 2 in the comment section. If you're new to me in the last 2 weeks, put a 2 in the comment section so I can see you. So powerful, you guys. Welcome. Welcome, you guys. So good. Put a 2 in the comment section if you're brand new to me in the last 2 weeks. You haven't really been on a bunch of our stuff before. Welcome. I'll give you guys a quick little history of me so that you know who you're listening to. I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. In fact, I remember I'm from Vancouver, Canada. Who am I? Canadians? Put Canada in the comment section. I remember Vancouver, Canada. My dad's an entrepreneur. My mom was a furniture saleswoman for as long as I can remember. And I remember listening to Tony Robbins in my bedroom in Vancouver, Canada, and thinking, oh my gosh, I love the way I feel when I listen to that guy. But I didn't know that was coaching. I didn't know really who he was. I don't even know how I got in contact with him. But I remember when I listened to him, something came alive inside me. And I thought, you know what? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know it's something. Right? Like, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew it was going to be something. Second thing is I didn't meet any of you guys from broken families? Hey, you guys put a B in the comment section. My mom, my dad are not together. They're very, very good friends today, which is really nice. But I didn't meet my dad till I was in grade 6. Okay. So there's a little trauma there, right? I didn't get to meet my dad till I was in grade 6. And when I met my dad, my mom wouldn't let me see his lifestyle because my dad was born as a millionaire, right? He was born as a millionaire. My mom was born where my grandparents are German. They escaped the war. They escaped their country and they came to Canada, right? And so very, very different life. One, building farms and building delicatessens, and my grandparents ended up becoming entrepreneurs, owning their own delicatessen, and my mom working in the garden and me growing up working in the garden with them, right? So I meet my dad in grade 6, and I remember my dad coming to pick me up, and it was like a Hallmark movie, literally. I ran outside my house and I gave him a big hug. It actually could tear me up thinking about it. And he spun me around and he said, I'm so glad to meet you. So I share that with you as I get a little teared up because I remember that moment so much. Who would have guessed my life would have changed so much? Because I remember my dad taking me in a limousine for the first time in my life. And we were going to Disneyland. All the kids had been to Disneyland where I came from, but I had never been out of Canada. I'd never been in a nice car, never experienced what it was like to be able to buy the most, trending clothes in school. Like, that wasn't my life. My mom worked 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. My mom had to give me to her brother at one point in her life because she couldn't afford to feed me. And I lived with my Uncle Ralph for an entire year. And my Uncle Ralph tried to adopt me from my mom. So there's like a lot in the history. How many of you guys got a lot in the history? Put H in the comment section. There's a lot in the history, right? And so the history determines, or our perception of the history determines on if we're going to rise up above the challenge, right? Which is what this is all about. Or if we're going to sit in the middle. I always say, like, many of us have been, I'm looking at the living room carpet. Many of us have been there. You know what I mean? Like, we're crying in the middle of the living room carpet. Maybe you guys weren't crying, but where we were dealing with a challenging moment. And I want you to take a moment right now. I want you to grab a pen and paper, and I'm going to ask you to write, what was your living room floor moment? Write it down on a piece of paper. What was your living room floor moment? And Tara, I don't know if you can hear me. Could you grab them and just slip them by me? Because otherwise they're going to be going at it. So what was your living room moment? Right? What was your living room moment? And the living room moment the living room floor moment is when you either, for me, it was, I was so broke, it hurt. And I remember thinking, God, if you just tell me what to do, and I'm going to tell you guys what to do to create a 7-figure year, a 7-figure revenue stream. So if you're already a millionaire, I want you to put dollar signs in the comment section. If you're already a millionaire, put dollar signs in the comment section, and don't be shy about it. Okay, because that's what this challenge is about, right? This challenge is about not feeling shameful around money, not letting anybody's opinion of you, whether you have money or don't have money, like, we're throwing all that out, because the biggest donors are the people who have money. There's nothing like wanting to make a difference, but you can't financially. And money does solve a lot of challenges. So if you're already a millionaire, put dollar signs in the comment section. If you want to be a millionaire, put million, put the word million in the comment section, because not everybody wants to be a millionaire. It's a calling. It's just like writing a book, it's a calling. And some people are driven where there's something innately inside them that's calling them to do it. Right? And that living room floor moment, whatever was tough for you on that living room floor moment, it's what qualifies you. Because here's who I don't trust: somebody who hasn't gone through any challenges. Because I know who you are and I know who I am when I face a difficult time. Because whatever character comes out next is going to determine whether or not I can go up or I go down. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes? Whatever character comes out under pressure. Now I want you to write this down. You have to, I'm going to give you real coaching. Like, I'm going to share what I do online. I'm going to share what I do behind closed doors. I've asked a couple of my friends who are millionaires, or actually they're all multimillionaires. And I don't mean making $1 million over 4 years, because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. Am I right? Yes, y'all? There's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. There's a lot of people who say, oh my gosh, I've sold like all this amount. And that's like, yeah, over 4 years, 5 years. Like, I'm talking about people who can create $1 million a month, $1 million weekend, $1 million day, $1 million 3 days, $1 million year. I need $1 million for something. I can create it. That's power. And it truly is not about your history doesn't make you be able to do that. Like, just because you haven't done it before doesn't mean that it can't happen. That's such a lie. It's such a lie. It's not as hard as you think. I remember many years going, I know I'm supposed to be a millionaire. I remember being in that limousine with my dad in Disneyland. And I remember sitting there going, Dad, the world looks so much better from the inside of a limousine. I was a little kid. I didn't know the difference, but you know what? The world does look better from the inside of a limousine. It looks better from the front deck of a yacht. It looks better from a private plane. And I want you to pay attention to your emotions now. Did some sort of judgment, shame, something, even a comment inside your head say, well, I don't really need all that, or some variation of that? Call yourself out right now and put me. Okay, because I can't help you if I don't see what's happening. right? Call yourself out if you had a thought like, I don't need to be in a private jet. I don't need to be on the top of a yacht, deck. I really don't, I don't need to be in a limousine. I don't need a Rolls Royce. I don't, you know what I mean? But here's the thing. What if you needed a G-Wagon, Mercedes, because you've been in a bad car accident and now you're afraid of being in a car that crunches, right? That's almost a $300,000 car. Right? What if you need food down the runway and there's no longer grass-fed meat? Or what if you can't afford grass-fed meat? And so you're eating GMO. What if you need a specialist or you get cancer or something like that? We've got friends, we've got family members who have high credentials in the medical world, and they would say the hospital's the last place I want to go if I'm sick, right? First place I want to go if I need surgery. First place I want to go if I need surgery. Last place I want to go if I get sick, right? And so you need money for all of this, right? You need money for all of this. So I'm going to encourage you to just let me lead you for the next couple weeks. So we're going to go from today to the 19th of May. Who's all in? Put all in. Let me coach you. It's okay if I trigger you. I will trigger some of you guys. If you have a spirit of offensiveness, if you get offended easy, I'm probably going to trigger you, but try and coach yourself through that. Try and coach yourself through that, because know this, I really am on your side. For other people, you're going to feel like I break the chains of poverty when I speak, and you just hear it differently. And you're going to be able to hear differently. And if you can see it, you can sell it. Somebody write that down right now. If you can see it, you can sell it. You know that you got to sell yourself as well as make offers and sell other people. I have to sell entrepreneurs on their dreams to follow through all the time. The number one thing we talk about inside of this company is how do we keep you in your commitment? I'm happy to say that currently we have a 72% success story of entrepreneurs in 1 quarter hitting their goals. That's insane. That did not happen by accident. That happened because we focused on the leadership of entrepreneurs, on follow through, on execution, on working through their emotions. So write this down. People buy on emotions. You need to know that, because if you don't know where to focus, then you don't know how to convert. And if you're going to make millions, you got to be able to make money. We got to not feel shameful around money. So you need to know where to go. So if people aren't buying, write this down. If people aren't buying, and we're going to go into something called the empathy model in a few minutes, but if people aren't buying from you, then it's because you need to ask yourself, what is the emotional charge they're feeling when they either look at my sales page, listen to a video of me, look at an application to work with me, buy my socks, my underwear, my iPhone. What does the iPhone give you an experience of? Right? It's intuitive. It's easier. I gave it to my 70-year-old father and he figured it out by the end of the day. Right? Not techie. It gives you an experience of freedom. It gives you an experience of connection, right? So what is the emotional experience that you're creating? Now, here's where you come in, because you're who I care about. And where you come in is that what's the emotional responses that you have during the day? So I don't have a form on this. I'm just kind of having an aha moment right now when I'm saying this. I had my clients in our Meant to Be Live program. I had my clients actually track from one mastermind, right? I used to do 3 masterminds in a year. And it would be about 4 or 5 months, 4 months before I'd see them again live in a room. And I had them track their emotions daily during the work week. And it was wild because the people who started regulating their emotions were the ones that made the most amount of money. Isn't that wild? So yes, you need to know what is the emotion that you're creating for someone else. And let me also give you a disclaimer on this. It doesn't mean you have to make somebody feel bad. How many guys have heard push on the pain to make profits? How many guys have heard push on the pain to create profits? It's true, but it doesn't have to be like that. How many of you guys have habit challenges where maybe you're a great starter and not a good finisher, right? Who's a great starter, not a good finisher? Put me. Who's a great starter, not a great finisher? Put me. Okay, so here's the thing with that. That used to be me, by the way. And so that comes down to vision. Okay, so if you wanna follow through, you need to have a clear vision. If you want to follow through, you got to have a clear vision. If you want people to buy from you, you need to have a clear vision. So everybody, I want you to grab a hold of this. Think to yourself right now, if you don't want to be average, you need to stop talking like every other nutritional coach, every other life insurance person, every other real estate person, therapist, teacher, whatever you want to call it. You can't sound like them. If I hear another health professional talk about the fact that they don't want to talk about weight loss, they want to talk about self-care, I'm like, I'm going to puke. And the reason why I'm going to puke with love is because it's so average, and average is broke. You guys all get that? Broad is broke. Broad is broke. So what makes you unique is your vision. What makes you unique is your vision. And so I want you to get obsessed over the next couple of weeks on vision. I want you to get obsessed over vision. So I have a vision in 2 weeks to break some minds, renew some awarenesses around finances, to completely change the fact that people think that money doesn't grow on trees when it does. When people think that like it's limited. Like if I make a lot of money, it doesn't mean you don't. Do you get what I'm saying? So envy, like all of that stuff, it's so spiritually like it's just, we need to break these thoughts. So here's some of the things you have to break. Everything in moderation. Never say it again. And you can either let me coach you, or you can insist on staying on your income class bracket. Okay, so anybody who's made a ton of money knows that nothing is in moderation. Not, like they know that. It's like the most idiotic statement on the planet. But yet I was taught it when I was a little girl. Any of you guys taught it? Like, Shanda, it's okay. You really worked hard. You dieted, or you worked out, or you trained for that marathon, or, like, I know you really want to meet the man of your dreams. And, like, you just don't be so hard on yourself, right? Like, but what if I needed to be hard on myself to get myself urgent? So y'all get that you're on a runway. And the runway is going to end. There's a runway that ends for having children. There's a runway that ends for our time on this earth. There's a runway that ends for a lot of people around their energy because of past choices that they made in their health, right? There's a runway. And I want you to understand that the vision you have is on a runway. And this runway tells you how much time you have. And then you have a bunch of people on this planet. Sorry, that's a little light. But so many people on this planet would love to tell you you have lots of this, right? We do it to our kids. You're so young, you have lots of time. What if you had a vision for your 12-year-old to be a millionaire? Maybe they don't have that vision, but you know what my son says to me? Mom, there's nothing we can't do. If I tell him he can't have a toy, which I tell him a lot, he will tell me there's nothing that can't be accomplished. He will not let me stand on that, because he lives in a household that everything is possible. And so he will drive me until he finds a way to break me. Do you guys get that? And it's not always because his dad's Persian, so Persians are incredibly good at being relentless, but it's also because he's been taught to not take no for an answer. When I moved to America from Canada, y'all, my dad's American, my mom's Canadian. And I came to America, I went to what was called INS before, it's the immigration. And 3 or 4 times I went, and they told me that it was impossible for me to become American. Now I want to share something with you. If I wanted to make an offer right now, I should. Okay, so listen to me when I say this. The reason why emotions sell is because stories sell. I want everybody to write down a word, write down a note, because I'm going to give you homework. Okay, and you got to do the homework. Like, this isn't about passively watching me for 2 weeks. Who's going to become a millionaire in the next 2 weeks? Meaning that you're going to come up with a strategy. You're going to get unleashed. You're going to commit. You're going to go all in. You're not going to start looking at your bank account as a commitment, whether you can do something or not. You make the money to do what you want. You make it now. You get access to it now. I needed $1 million for something, and in 24, about almost 48 hours, I had found an additional $1 million, never got on one phone call, right? So I share this with you. It's irrelevant how I did it, because how you do it will be different. But if I can create $1 million in less than 2 days, money I didn't have, I needed an additional $1 million, then why the heck can you not? You can. So now I'm going to go back to my story sell. I moved to America with $500 in my pocket. That $500 was in an envelope. If I had an envelope right now, that would be perfect to have it, to even have $500. Props are amazing. Okay. And so, because it gives a visual, I had $500 in an envelope when I moved to America, and I had it hidden in my closet. And I honestly, like, I was so afraid that somebody would find that $500 because it was all the money that I had. I wasn't allowed to work in America, being Canadian. Anybody else immigrants out here, right? Put an I, anybody else immigrants, you've immigrated into a country. So it's wild because you don't have the same privileges everybody else has. You can't work, your medical might be different. It's a whole different game, right? So I go to INS 3-4 times. They tell me I could be 60 years old before I get my American citizenship. The way I got into America is I actually applied to go to school in America. I got in. My dad wouldn't pay for it because he said, I'm not going to pay for foreign national financing for you to go to school. He said, you can come back, work in the company like a good kid, and save up my money, go to school in Canada, in Vancouver. And then if I wanted to transfer, I could do that when I save my money. Well, that wasn't part of my DNA. My DNA is an entrepreneur. I break all the rules. I go after it when it's totally illogical. Write that down. Making money is not logical. So if you're trying to save and make money at the same time, you can't do it. Or at least you can't do it very fast. Okay, and in a changing world with artificial intelligence, which, by the way, I have a great friend of mine, Chris, who's coming to train how to actually use artificial intelligence to get your content and ideas out there faster and not having to hire a bunch of professionals to do it. Okay, so that's going to be a mind-blowing training. If you miss these trainings, you might miss that. Okay, I'll send out pocket coaching. I'll share what we're training every single morning. If you check your emails, right? I'll share with you what we're actually training for the day, but I recommend you just come to everything, okay? Just for the next 2 weeks. So I come to America, got this $500. My dad's not going to pay for it, so I apply for student loans. Student loan gets denied 3 times. I threatened to be a dancer at a strip club in Las Vegas, called my mom. My mom was like flipped out, called my dad. True story. My dad calls me up and says, honey, I know you want to be a businesswoman someday. Some of you guys need to call bluff on your kids, because I know you want to be a businesswoman someday. He said, if you can stand in a boardroom in front of a bunch of people who find out that you are a stripper and you're good with that, think about how you'll overcome that objection, right? My dad's a businessman, so he knows about sales and objections. And he said, if you can figure out how to do that and you're good, know that your family will always support you. Well, he blew my bluff. I turned bright red, by the way, when I was talking to him on the phone, because I couldn't believe my dad, right? And so I had no choices, so I had to figure it out. So I went to the immigration building. I went to University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I went to the immigration building, and I went into a seminar. A gentleman by the name of Adam Green, you can look him up, all this story is real. He's in Los Angeles, he's an immigration attorney. I walked into a seminar, I said, girl that's afraid of speaking in public, wild that I do this now. I raised my hand and I said, I was desperate. Some of you guys need to be desperate to close down the life that you had to move to the life that you want. I was desperate. I was going to need to go back to America, or back to Canada, if I didn't figure this out. So long story short, I said, what if my dad's American, my mom's Canadian, I was born in Canada? He said, you're already American. I said, that's not true. The INS told me. And he goes, they're wrong. I go, but 2 immigration attorneys told me. He goes, they're wrong. This is why my son doesn't take no for an answer. Okay, because I never want him, I never want you to take a no for an answer. Adam Green told me I could fill out a passport, get my parents' pictures, marriage certificate, proof that my father lived in America. I think it was for 3 or 4 years of his life, and mail in the passport. I kissed and hugged the mailman for real. I called every single week to North Carolina or South Carolina. I can't remember where it was. It was one of the Carolinas, to the passport agency to see if the women knew me by name because I was following up, because I had very strong vision and I was on a runway to have to go home. Some of you guys, the reason why pain does create purpose is if you get connected with this, you move. So if you got perfection problems, you got procrastination problems, you actually have a vision problem. And if you keep reading the books that talk about, well, here's how you overcome your habits, which I get, habits are important. There's habit stacking. All these tactics work. In our leadership program, we call those mechanisms. There's a million mechanisms to fix anything. In other words, there's 50 ways to find the money. There's so many different ways to solve your problems right now. The challenge is if you don't have strong vision, then what happens is you won't buy into the future that you want. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So now here's how this affects your buyers. If you don't have a vision for yourself, then you can't even spend time on your buyers. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying here? Yes or no? Okay, so you get this. Are you starting to see where this is breaking? So now what you're doing is you're selling a product. Some of you guys are new and you're not selling a product. I will handle that over the coming days, but just follow the concept right now. Okay, so if you sell a product, if I sell this pen, if I sell this iPhone, if I sell business coaching, leadership coaching, weight loss, whatever, if I sell the thing, it doesn't have the same impact. If I sell the vision, first you have to know what your vision is, right? Everybody's vision here should be to at least create another 7 figures or create a 7-figure income. Even if you don't think you need it, it's not about you. It's about somebody else that's going to need it. It's about your church that needs the tithe. It's about, human trafficking and you want to donate to stop it, right? It's about diabetes. It's about your parents. I mean, I'm immigrating my mother into Puerto Rico right now from Vancouver, Canada. You get what I'm saying? I'm buying her a house. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, did I think that I would be taking care of my mom? And by the way, and my dad, I've been taking care of my dad for years, lost all of his millions. See, you don't know what's coming in the future. You definitely don't. But success loves preparation. Some of you guys are living in this is going to be tough for you, a self-centered world of what you need and what you don't need. And it's very hard to break through financially. It's very hard to break through financially until you start to catch a vision for yourself, but then a vision for your buyers. Who's getting an aha moment right now? Put aha, put aha. Okay, put aha. If you're getting an aha moment right now. What do you think has been your challenge? Because I want to treat you all like you're in my mastermind, my Man to Be Live mastermind, right? You're all like, I'll pretend you're all my business owners and I'm coaching you the way I would coach you, right? First, we need to unhook from our self-centeredness to be able to even help somebody. Ever been in a marriage or relationship where the person just thinks about themselves? Or how about this? It's a 50-50 game. Nothing in life is a 50-50 game. Nothing in life is a 50-50 game. Right? And there's people that I coach that sometimes I'm all in and they are out to lunch until I get them to believe in their vision. And then what happens is they start running their vision, like Sonia, who it's like, I have to like literally structure calls with Sonia because she made $1 million in 35 days and never understood the strategy. But I'll tell you what, she'd be on every single one of these trainings. Do you get what I'm saying? Because she had a vision for herself that was strong and she had a vision to help women of color rise up. And because these two visions were strong, she doesn't have a commitment problem. I think we have a massive commitment problem in the world, and not because there's anything wrong with us, but because we're lacking this. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes. Okay, so the first set of homework I'm going to give you, and if you're not in our Facebook group, our Coach Yourself to Success Facebook group, I'm going to send out an email later on. If you're not, let me just see here. I'm going to pop this up. Okay. So if you're not registered for the Rise Up Challenge right now and you're watching us on social media, I'm going to recommend you go riseupnowchallenge.com. I'm going to recommend you register for this, because as soon as I'm done, I'm going to do VIP after this. And as soon as I'm done with the VIP group, then I'm going to shift over and I'm going to create a pocket coaching on today. And it's going to drive this deeper, because I know if I coach you at the end of every training, I'll be able to help you manage your mind. Who needs to manage your mind? Put MM. Who needs to manage your mind? Put MM in the comment section, right? Who needs to manage your mind? Put MM in the comment section. It's important for you to respond when I do a trigger word like that, because it tells me where you are, not only emotionally, but it tells me where you are in business. It tells me where you are on this journey. And if I don't get feedback from you, if I only see a couple people put MM, then I know I don't have a mind management problem. And so why would I push any more content into this training? Do you get what I'm saying? So I need you to respond. So if you're not registered, go to riseupnowchallenge.com. How many of you guys have 5 or more friends doing this with you? Put me. How many of you guys have 5 or more friends doing this with you? Put me. I'm going to highly recommend that you get 5 people on a text thread outside of this. And the reason why is you're probably going to have 3 bail on you, but I'm hoping all 5 stay with you if you put them on a text thread. And I got this aha. See, this goes back to vision, right? Some of you guys are clients of ours. Put client in the comment section if you're clients of ours, right? Leadership training, business mastermind, whatever, put client, right? And so some of you guys are clients of ours, right? Get people in the group to go get on text message threads of 5 or more. What we've realized, and the reason why we get such high results, is we've tested. And so we have a leadership program that over 3 years, listen to me for a second, because if you have a business and it's not just good enough to sell, you got to get results for your people. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? You got to get results. Whether you're Sarah Blakely, who started Spanx, her vision is for women to feel empowered in their body, whatever weight we are, right? She has a clear vision. She wanted it for herself, and then she wanted it for all the rest of the women. I don't know what industry you're in, but go ahead and pop your industry, or even if you're just starting, put like what you're going to go into. What industry are you in? David's in mortgage. By the way, David, all of my business training, not all, but the majority of my methods come from the real estate world, right? Apparel, holistic health, SaaS, business to business, coaching, any network marketers, Forex, coaching, accounting. I love that we have such a variety. Personal development, government contracting, staffing, so good. Staffing world, I bet that's wild right now. People got paid so well to not go to work. I'm sure that's an interesting world right now. Health, business coaching, beauty industry, so good. Real estate. Go ahead and pop your industry in the comment section, okay? First of all, you should be looking for your people. And everybody should go on a text message thread of 5 people in your own world. So think about this. When I go for dinner tonight, I love y'all, but most of you I'm not having dinner with. I have friends that I spend a lot of time with. My friends and I are constantly building each other up. Why? Because it sucks to be on the yacht alone. And also, who you spend your time with determines on how you think. And how you think is how you process. And if money loves speed, then we need to all speed up. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So for some of you guys who are overwhelmed right now, we need to prioritize differently. I'm going to teach you all of this. Okay, so while I'm teaching prioritization, I'm going to show you how to make money, right? So this is the 2-week challenge that actually monetizes. I expect you to make money. I expect you to make money over the next 2 weeks, because while I'm teaching this, I got to prime the pump today. I got to get you to understand how to think, so that we can focus on vision. But I need you to get on a text message thread with 5 people. So I think about 5 people you want to do this challenge with, right? Eugene, you guys, 5 people that you want to do this challenge with. Josephine, Cassandra, Joan, Mike, Catherine Murphy, Brooks, right? What are 5 people that you want to do this challenge with, right? And take that URL and text it to them. And then go on a group text. Go on a group text. And track. If somebody misses a training, encourage them to watch it afterwards. Track. And make your vision to not just have you win, but to have your 5 other friends or your 4 other friends. Don't put more than 5. I don't have time to get into it, but don't put more than 5 on a text. If you have more than 5, I'm telling you, somebody's going to take you sideways. 5 is the perfect number. We've tested it. We've tested it for years. If 99% of our clients in our leadership program over 3 years get their results in 4 months, they put up a big goal and they hit the result in 4 months, I'm telling you, the secret sauce is 5. Okay, you got it? Yes? We all clear? Okay, I'm gonna pop this off. So go on with five friends on a text message. This is your accountability. When we're done the 2 weeks, this is gonna keep you out of your emotions and help you stay moving forward, right? But it also, when we're done the challenge, you guys saw how many people are clients of ours. We asked our clients, put the word client in the comment section. Those guys I'm still with. For you guys, I may not be with. Do you get what I'm saying? And so now you have your crew that you're gonna run with. Got it? Yes? Okay. Homework. I want you to look for, what is your vision for you? I'm going to give you a teachable moment for a second. Don't put your phone numbers in the chats, guys. Very, very dangerous. You guys have had weird, crazy people come after us for things. Do not put your phone numbers in the chat. Go find 5 people that are in your life, not 5 people who are in the challenge. 5 people who are in your life that you go for dinner with, that your kids play together, your mom or your dad. 5 people who are in your life. You got to rise up your atmosphere, right? It's very, very hard to win, Jeff, when your wife or your friend is like, Jeff, give it up. Like you've tried it in the past, it never worked. You need somebody who's being influenced by the same stuff you're being influenced by, but people who are in your life. Do you guys get it? Yes? Okay, those are your 5 people. Got it? But don't put your phone, I see people putting phone numbers in comments. Don't do that. I mean, there's a reason why I have security at events. Okay, like you wouldn't believe how many cuckoos could be watching. I know it's not you, but let's just make sure that you don't get any weird stuff happening, okay? So vision for yourself. Write this down. I want you to think to yourself about what's your vision for you, your family, and yourself. Okay? Bigger than if you think I want to buy a house, I want you to think who's in the house with you. Right? I want you to think like I knew, like before I ever married my husband, I knew I was going to have a husband. I knew I was going to have children. I expected it. You need to expect a miracle. You need to expect millions, right? And so I expected it. And so I created a life insurance policy that I paid into for 5 years, that I knew that I wanted to take care of I wanted to make sure that there was enough money for my husband and my kids. And I wanted to make sure that a portion of it was set up that if anything happened to me, that my mom would be okay. Right? Like I needed to make sure that if something happened, I also took a life insurance policy out of my mom. And the life insurance policy on my mom was to take care of her health later on in life, because I had a vision. And the vision was that when I had my future family, that I didn't want the health of my parents to affect the financials of my future family. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So your vision for yourself needs to include other people. This is big, y'all. Don't ignore me when I say this. This is huge. Okay, it needs to be specific. I was clear. My whole life depended on my future family. And so I cared enough about my parents that I wanted to make sure, because I'm an only child. So I was like, who's going to take care of them? I didn't want it to affect. Money has always been important to me. And I didn't want it to affect my future family. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes? Okay. Now we're going to talk about vision for your people. And then we're going to end the training for today. There's something called an empathy model. I'm going to run through this fast, and you need to be thinking, because this is where your mind starts to get confused. This is when your character starts to push up. This is, for some of you guys, a version of the living room floor when you're in pain about something. In other words, pay attention really quickly. What happens to you when pressure comes in? Because pressure is about to come in right now. What happens to you? Go in the comment section. What do? Do you get overwhelmed? Do you get confused? Do you get mad? Do you go eat at the fridge? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, the crackers sound amazing right now to not focus, right? What do you do to avoid the focus? What do you do to avoid the focus? I isolate. I eat and get mad. I'm not clear. I go to sleep. I'm angry. I stay in bed. I give up. I'm overwhelmed, freeze, shut down, overwhelmed. I eat. Okay, now go look in the freaking comment section because you're not alone and there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And so when you get your vision tight for your life, you want to tell me 1 minute that my future family was more important than me getting confused, overwhelmed, or staying stuck in the income bracket? Heck no, because I committed to, get this, I was not making $100,000 a year when I did this. I committed to $100,000 a year life insurance plan. They looked at me and said, that's not smart. And I said, it is smart. And the reason why it's smart is you need to understand you need to hook your future and pull it in. I am not trying to grow the average life. Y'all get it? I didn't do this 2-week challenge to grow the average life. I want to leave the middle class behind. Do you know the middle class is shrinking? And you know why? This is not a scary moment. It's because people are waking up. And the middle class are hooking on to higher income brackets and they're pulling out. And artificial intelligence is going to help you do that. I'm going to show you how to do that in this challenge as well. Okay, so no more like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. You're not overwhelmed. You have a priority problem. And I'm going to fix that with you. I'm going to fix that in your leadership if you let me coach you and you just get yourself to show up to these. If you just send that URL to 5 of your friends and have them get on a text message group thread. Okay, even if you think like whatever you think, there's skeptical people like, oh, she's just trying to get more people on her challenge. Why do you care if I win? Like, why would you care if I win? Like, what? Why would you even watch me if you care if I win? Do you understand what I'm doing right now? I'm getting all of these thought patterns out of you. I want you to win. And unless you hang out with 5 people on a text message thread, you got a possibility of getting really emotional and going sideways and not showing up. So take the coaching. Even if I win too, take the coaching. Got it? So now empathy. Empathy is about what's your vision. If you don't have buyers yet, if you're just starting, put the word start in the comment section so you don't feel alone and allow a deceptive thought to throw you off. Okay, I don't want any deceptive thoughts to throw you off. We're going to break that stuff, right? And so if you're just starting, all you need to think about is what is the group of people you want to help. And by the way, that's still advice from people who've been in business for a long time, because when I use the word niche or avatar, people are a mess. Am I right? All my business owners, right? It's like, it's a mess. It's a mess out there because it requires you to make a decision, and people inherently don't like to make decisions until they get a new vision. See, I love making decisions because the faster I make decisions is the more money I make. Closer I get to my vision, the closer I get you to your vision. You get what I'm saying? So when we change our identification with making decisions, then we'll make them a lot quicker. The quicker you make decisions, the quicker you understand where things fall up short. You can fix that. It's a whole thing, right? So don't be afraid of things falling apart. It's okay. We need them to fall apart to be able to fix them. So I'd rather make a bad decision than no decision or a delayed decision. Got it? So as we look at the group of people that you want to serve, so everybody write down the group of people. Do not say everyone. Okay, that like get one vertical up at a time. In other words, I can help coaches, and I did that for years. And then I was like, network marketers, and then I grew that group. Real estate people. Do you get what I'm saying? And so I specialize a lot on how to get you more customers and clients. How many guys want more customers and clients? Put a C in the comment section. How many guys want more customers or clients, right? Put a C in the comment section. So you're in a good spot because that's like my sweet spot, right? And for some of you guys, well, I don't want to divert into this too much, but that's more important than understanding your messaging. Okay, although we're going to talk about messaging real quick because this is important, connected to vision. Okay, so I specialize in our business side in getting you more customers, clients, buyers, patients, your network marketers, reps, it's all the same. Do you see what I'm saying? So your lead generation, I'm masterful at it. And I'm masterful at monetizing it fast. That's my niche. That's my pocket. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you look at your group of people, I want you to ask yourself, what is, and this, write this down on a piece of paper, because this is connected to your homework. What is the main problem they're facing right now? Okay, so there's the main problem, and then there's the real problem. Okay, so entrepreneurs' main problem is they're facing is that they need more money. How many guys need more money? Put me in the comment section. How many guys need more money? Put me in the comment section. So that's the problem. That's obvious. That's every business advisor, course creator, whatever out there, right? Every single one of them, whether they're teaching video marketing, whatever. It's all like, yeah, they all need more money. This is a main problem. But the real problem I'm seeing right now is that you guys are not adapting artificial intelligence fast enough, and you're still trying to grow on your willpower. And willpower is not consistent. Willpower is exhausting. You're trying to build the old way, which is on you, and this takes time. And the truth is now you have AI, and all you guys are getting more confused with AI. Am I right or am I right? You're more confused about artificial intelligence because you don't know what to use, when to use it. And by the way, who has time to put it together? Am I right? You guys, yes or no, am I right? Who has time to put it together? I know I'm right because I 100% see this challenge. People are like ChatGPT. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, then you need to wake up, because ChatGPT is a great technology, but it's only one of them, right? My point is that I can tell you that none of us have time to do this because I built an entire team to do that for me. I built an entire team to do that for me. No kidding. An entire team. You know why? Because this equals money. This equals money. Why? Because it equals speed. Follow me here. I can take this video that I'm doing right now, I can hand it over to Carrie and our Renta team, and they can take this video that I'm doing right now and they can make this into so many blogs, Pinterest posts. We can go on medium.com, we can go omnipresent by tomorrow. Isn't that wild? We go omnipresent by tomorrow. But here's the thing, when we started doing this for me, it was taking us 45 minutes to edit one blog. How many guys have time for that? Who has time for that? Do you have time? Do you want to, if you want to edit a blog for 45 minutes, put me. If you don't have time for it, put no. And you should be putting no, right? And I'm like, oh snap, this isn't a good thing. And so I went and I hired this beautiful woman from Silicon Valley, and I made her my partner in business. And I said, you got to go figure out how to get me everywhere fast. And what we did was we started developing teams. As we started developing teams, I could do content like this, and they can take content like this and they can spin it up really fast. They can put me everywhere. Follow me here, because I'm going to teach this over the next 2 weeks. As they put me everywhere, I can write blogs from my content that have calls to action, CTAs, calls to action. I could put CTAs. I know some of you guys are getting overwhelmed right now. I just want you to notice your emotions. I just want you to notice your emotions, because that's the feeling of pressure coming in. And you got to track with me until the 19th of May, because I'm going to unwind some of that, because you don't have to understand it all to become a millionaire. You just have to understand what you're not, and to stop trying to wear every hat in your business so that you can get further. So see, I can take a video like this and we can run it through AI. And now we can take that and we can repurpose it onto blogs, Pinterest. If you have women as your ideal client, put W. Okay, so you should be all over Pinterest. So what was making me mad, can I swear for a second? What was pissing me off is that I kept saying to my team, I want to be on Pinterest like crazy. I want to be on Pinterest like crazy. I want a lot of lead gen on Pinterest. And we could never get to it, right? And now Carrie's able to take my content and start populating on Pinterest. and pull a lead generation of ideal clients. That's one of my verticals. Men, I also serve you too. But if you have women as your ideal client and you're not on Pinterest, it's a super big problem. You get what I'm saying? It's a super big problem, but who has time for this? Not me. That's why I hired people in my company. You know how hard it is to get people in your company to do what you want to do? I had to build a whole infrastructure of a team that's an assembly line. Who would like access to that team? Put me. Who would love access to that team? Put me. Okay, so here's the thing. Right now, we are not taking, we do not have the ability to take a bunch of clients in here. But what we are taking is applications, and we're going to slowly start bringing on people onto that team. So I'm going to drop this up for you guys. Oh, maybe it won't come up. Oh, there it is. Yay. HireMyPeople.com. If you go to HireMyPeople.com, I cannot promise you that you will get onto this, because I think Carrie told me that we can take maybe 10 people in the next month, 6 weeks. Okay. If you already do content, or you're willing to do a video like this, go to HireMyPeople.com, fill out the application. If you already do content, you can do a video like this. Who are my people who have been in business for a while, right? You're doing either Instagram, or you're doing audio calls, or you're doing like conference calls, or you're doing videos. We can take that and we can literally replace a full-blown marketing manager, and we can put you everywhere, and then we can put links off of these things to lead gen your people. How many guys know that if you had more people, you'd make a lot more money? Put me. Heck yeah. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. So I'm going to take this link down. So grab it if you need it. HireMyPeople.com. It could be 2 months before you get in. It could be 6 months before you get in. My point is that we're growing the team. We're sharing the team as we expand it out, but we have to do it obviously in a really slow way to make sure that we can deliver on everything that we're doing. Not to mention, this is my team. This is the team that's doing it for me. It's extraordinary. In 48 hours of Carrie coming on, we produced so many blogs. It was unbelievable. And by the way, it's my voice. How many of you guys can't seem to get your voice out there, right? It's a real challenge to hire copywriters or people to get our voice out. I believe that this company is going to be one of the most valuable companies that I've ever built. And the reason why is because everybody needs a rent-a-team. Everybody needs to rent a team, because in a world that it's expensive to hire people and artificial intelligence is not as easy to run as you think. It still took 45 minutes to edit a blog. We've now got that down to 12 minutes, and we're expanding it fast. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So if you have an interest in being a part of that, you can go to HireMyPeople.com. I'm going to pop this off now. Ready to go? 2, 3, 4, gone. I thought it was gone. There. Okay, good. Okay. So I'm going to end on this. You need to spot the problem. You need to spot the real problem. The real problem I'm seeing right now is the convergence in history of the recession, but the recession is going to go away, right? Recessions come and they go. The recessions come and they go. Artificial intelligence isn't going anywhere. And a bunch of people are leaving the middle class and they're going up. I think it should be you. Don't you think? You must embrace artificial intelligence. And you as an entrepreneur should not be doing it yourself. I am not in there using AI myself. And the best thing you can do is write this down: money-making activity. Money-making activity for you is you producing your advice. You producing your advice. So now when you look at the problem your client has, or customer or patient or whatever you call your buyer, then look at the real problem. This is what I need you to do. Can you speak about this real problem in a way that's bold and in a way that you're not worried about stepping on other people's toes? Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So here's what it looks like. When I am unedited, doesn't mean I would speak this way to my audience. You're my audience. So give me love here. I'm just going to tell you the processing. I sit there and I walk around. I'm like, the real problem isn't that entrepreneurs don't have any money, because it's easy to make money. I mean, I could show absolutely any of you guys how to make money. And I can show absolutely anybody how to make money. And I have seen kids. I've taught people with cancer on hospital beds. I have taught single moms. There was a woman that isn't even an entrepreneur that supported her husband, and she went off. They had $350,000 in debt. She had to get her ass in the saddle to make some money, with love. Sorry that I'm swearing. But she had to get in front because her husband started to lose his confidence. How many of you guys recognize this? Started to lose his confidence and started to lose his mojo and started to get depressed. She had to get up on front. She got up on front. She learned our systems on how to build customer acquisition, which is something I'll talk about in this training. But she learned our systems. And then when she learned our systems, she went off and paid $350,000 in debt in 2 years off. That's awesome. That's awesome. She can make $500,000 in 1 quarter cash in the bank. And I'm not saying you guys are going to be able to do this. Unfortunately, they'll shut me down if I insinuate that. I can't say you're going to do that, but I'm trying to tell you that what's your vision for yourself? And if you can start thinking, I know there's a way, I know there's a way, I know there's a way. But you need to be able to speak really clearly, because if I know money is such an excuse for entrepreneurs, what's the real problem? The real problem is that people don't know how to get their content to speed to market. Whether you're in real estate, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an attorney, whatever it is, if you build your business on referrals, that's a problem. Because what if one of your referrers is one of the companies that goes under during a recession? How many guys have seen these banks going under? If I popped you into the investor thread that I'm in right now, the number of banks that they're looking at that could go under is not exactly comforting. It's not exactly comforting. Imagine waking up and you have no money. Like, it's just the thing you trusted, the doctors, the police, the bank. Like, this is breaking all of our paradigms of what's safe and what's not, right? I have a friend that owns a bank, and she has $2 million cash in her backyard buried. No shit. And then she tells me, oh, don't worry about it. I'm like, why do you have $2 million in your backyard? You're telling me not to worry about it. I'm like, okay. Like, so I don't know what's coming up in the future, but what I do know is that if you can spot the real problem of your customer and start speaking into this in a bold way, you'll sound different. It creates what is a unique proposition for you. So right now, the unique proposition that I have is I'm showing entrepreneurs, where's the mountain? Where's the mountain you're taking your people up? Okay, so this part of your homework, where's the mountain? So for some of you guys, you're taking very obese people to their mountain of loving their body 40 pounds lighter. For some of you guys at the top of it, but it's about how do they feel up there, not about the weight loss. You got to sell how they feel at the top of the mountain. I'm taking entrepreneurs through this very rocky time of artificial intelligence and recession, and I'm moving you up. When COVID hit, I took you guys into taking action. See, there's a new mountain coming on the horizon for your buyer. And what is that new mountain that you see that they have to climb? You should be thinking right now. What is that new mountain that you know that they have to climb? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Yes? If you know what it is, put it in the chat. What is the new mountain that you see that your ideal customer or client needs to climb? And how are you going to help them climb it? And if you hear yourself talking about your product or your service, you're selling the wrong thing, because I love y'all, but nothing you do is unique. Nothing you do is unique. I know you might think you do, but it's not. There are other people who do what you do. They might sound a little different. They might have a little bit of a different language on it. But the truth is that there's people who do wealth protection. There's people who do weight loss. There's people who get your butt in shape. There's people who get your abs in shape. There's people who teach business. Why do people choose your company? Because of your vision. And the way that you speak about your vision. So I'm going to end on this. I 100% do not clarify success as a jet, a Ferrari, a Rolls Royce, or a bigger house. But I can tell you, you shouldn't live without those things if you want them. If your jet's going to help more people get to a hospital, if your jet's going to help more people get to a third world country to volunteer, I don't know. My point is that I have no judgment on that. I'm also Christian. I don't care if you're Jewish, Muslim, New Age, Catholic, none of that matters to me, right? What I care about is living in a world that diversity is still okay. That living in a world that it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be Christian. It's okay to be married to a man. It's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm interested in living in a world that you can enroll me in a better way and I can enroll you in a better way. If you think it's better for me to lose weight like this, then you should do that, right? You should talk to me about it. If you think it's better for me to worship the Lord like this, then you should talk to me about it. But be as open as me telling you how I think you could have a relationship with God, or how I think you could build a business. All right. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I'm interested in living a world that literally you're not afraid to speak your point of view and have a bunch of people that like make it politically incorrect. I want to live in a world that's politically incorrect and we can still speak it. It's called freedom. And there's many places in the world that you don't have the option to have free speech. And I think we need to fight for a world that we get to have free speech. So what I'm doing is I'm helping entrepreneurs identify the mountain that they're taking people up. And I'm going to get you so good at speaking in a way, when you speak, people run to you. They gravitate to you. You don't have to be the most charismatic speaker. You don't have to, I'm shy, to be really honest. Like, the last thing I ever wanted to do was get up on a stage and speak to you. And meanwhile, I've got a zone event coming up that we're going to have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,400, 3,000 people in the actual room, right? It was my worst nightmare. Why did I do it? Because there was a mountain I saw. And the company needed me to show up in a way to be able to get more connected to people. And so I said yes. What do you need to start saying yes to in your business? And what is the mountain you're taking people to? So I'm going to encourage you today to go, tomorrow, show up. Tomorrow, I'm going to recommend that you show up. We're going to start at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, right? 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to start getting into the nitty-gritties of creating $1 million revenue stream. Today, I need you to get clear on the mountain you're taking people up to. What is your vision for your people? And you are in the front as the tour guide and you're taking them up. What is your vision for them? If you're not in the Coach Yourself to Success Facebook group, hopefully you're registered for this challenge, because I will send out a link to the Facebook group so you can join the Facebook group. I am only checking homework in the Facebook group. I'm going to give out $200 prepaid visas to a few people, maybe 10 people. I'll do 10. I'm going to give $200 to 10 people who go into the Facebook group today, and you share what is your vision for the mountain. You're the tour guide, and you're taking your ideal customer, client, buyer, whatever you call your buyer, your future buyer. I don't care if you're just starting a business. Like, this is the 2 weeks where excuses are not accepted. If you're going to be a millionaire, you have to have enough confidence and competency that even if you don't know, you still commit, right? Like, can you just make a decision? Just make a decision, because here's what I know for sure. Money loves speed, and money does not like to be in the hands of people who still think they're unworthy. So here's the thing. You made it to the planet. It's impossible for you to be unworthy. And we have been so fixated on this conversation of I need to be more worthy before I find the love of my life. Anybody married here? Put me. Anybody in a long-term relationship? Put me. How many times did you change in that relationship? What a freaking lie out there in the world. You change with the one you love. You grow together. Well, money, movements, businesses, they're going to grow with you. Okay, so let's stop with all of this excuses. It doesn't matter if you've not been a good finisher in the past. All it matters is you get a vision. And I promise you, this is what I will promise you. You will follow through when the vision is strong enough. So I'm going to invite you to go into the Facebook group. I don't care if you do a video or if you write it. A video or if you write it. I'm going to give 10 people a $200 prepaid visa for just getting in there and being bold enough to talk about, this is the mountain I'm taking you to. I see this problem, so I need you to identify the problem. I see this problem, but here's the real problem, right? Here's the problem. My entrepreneurs want more money and they never have enough. But and by the way, that happens at 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures. It always happens. I have a friend that's getting over $100 million in a few months on a close of a business, but borrowed money from somebody else, right? Like, he's not broke beyond any means, but he rolls his money. So I know y'all think that somehow money is just going to be abundant and there's never going to be a shortage. That's not the problem, and that's not the truth. The truth is that you get so good at creating it, and this is where the middle class doesn't understand. They think that you need to make the money before you do something, and that's the deception. That's what hell loves you to believe. But heaven says, and by the way, anybody who's made a lot of money, you never have enough going where you're going. So if you could just, somebody's brain just opened up right there. Because if you actually get the understanding of how to generate it, when everybody else gets scared when things get tight, that means they can't lead it. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You can't get scared when things get tight. You need to catch a vision. And the vision means that you're helping people get to the top of another mountain. And if you can catch that vision and speak it, they're coming. So it's not true if you open the doors, they're coming. What's true is if you have a vision for other people, they're coming. So go inside the Facebook group. If you're not registered for the Rise Up Now challenge, I'll pop that up. If you're not registered for the Rise Up Now challenge, go ahead and do that, because I can send you the link to get into the Facebook group. We're going to start at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go tell me what's the problem you see, what's the real problem, what's the mountain you're taking people to. And I want to see it inside the Facebook group. You can do a video, no videos that are over 2 minutes long. If your video is over 2 minutes long in the Facebook group, you will disqualify yourself for a $200 prepaid visa. If you're like, I'm not motivated by a prepaid visa, so just do it anyway. Can you still do something even if you're not motivated, even if you don't feel like it? Can you still do it? Because that's a muscle that needs to be developed. So don't let yourself off the hook anywhere. And what my request is after you do your homework, go comment on some other people, right? There's nothing worse than putting yourself out there and nobody comments. Comment on some other people's stuff. Just take a few minutes, 10 minutes today, and give back to other people who are playing this game. Here's to crushing it in the next couple of weeks, and I'm excited to be your guys' coach. All right, that's a wrap for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Awesome. Are you guys gonna stop the streaming? Thank you. Are we stop the streaming, guys? Let me see here. All right, VIP, we're gonna get rock and rolling. Whoever is spotlighting this, stop the streaming, please. Social media, we love you, but we are ending you guys right now. I don't know how to do it, so hold on. Give me 2 seconds, VIP. Okay, hold on. Give me 2 seconds, okay, VIP? You guys good? Yes?